Diameter and circumference are not. It's not pi. It's not that number.
Yeah, and what pi is basically is it's saying if you put, I mean that's, I don't know why they don't teach it in school, but how Archimedes, I think, I don't remember who it was. The Archimedes, one of those dudes. How he figured what thing, yeah, it was Archimedes, I'm pretty sure. How he figured out what it was, he put a circle with a string, did it like a with a string, and then he took the string and straightened it out, and he put on, when while it was a circle, he put another string in the middle, like where the diameter is, and he measured. So literally, like I was talking in the other video, measured. You measure one string to the other string, like talking like Euclid right now. You measure one, you compare them, measure one, the smaller diameter string to the circumference, and you figure out that holy shit, the circumference is about 3.141569, I don't fucking know, times bigger than the diameter. Oh shit, let's do that again. You get a circle and you make another circle, and you're like, what the fuck? In this circle, it is this like the same. The circumference is the same, is exactly the same times the circumference is exactly the same amount of times bigger than the diameter. It's 3 times bigger than the diameter. In every single circle I fucking draw, that's true. That's curious. I'm curious. What the fuck? That's weird. That's so weird. How can that be? Fucking black magic. This shit is black magic. All this kind of shit is black magic. Go back in time and they look all this kind of stuff. You got a TV, people trapped in a box, whatever the fuck. They're not actually trapped. It's another paradox.
From Messenger, Destiny Renee. To Destiny, Hall Effect, No Drift Joy-Cons Repair. Custom Nintendo Switch and Repair.
Well, that's
Destiny
literally the
Renee.
weirdest shit.
Messenger also sent a long notification.
Yeah, I mean, that's the weirdest fucking shit, and it's true for every single circle. But we can't prove it because we can't draw every single fucking circle. And even then, how can you trust your senses? How can you trust that whatever you see is real anyway? How do you know anything's real? That's the same thing with the 1+1 = 2 thing. I mean, 1+1 doesn't equal 2. As all the stupid fucking people from, as some fucking Americans, dumbasses, bro. Not even Mexicans don't even give a shit about this shit. It's all these dumb fucking Americans, white boys that they think they're so smart. It's stupid as fuck. They just got money, but they wanna. I mean, I appreciate that they wanna be smart, but that's the smart. If you were really smart, you wouldn't ask that question because you know that what one meant really. I mean, it's people that don't know anything about mathematics would ask that question because they would think that one is something else than a thing, a one of a thing, because we don't deal with stuff that isn't things in our lives. There, we don't think that with things that don't exist, because if it didn't exist, it wouldn't be a thing. Even if it's a thought, it exists.
Messenger sent a long notification.
Therefore, it's a thought. I mean, therefore it's a thing, some kind of a thing, physical thing, non-physical thing. It exists anyway. But I mean, there we go. Then we go with the. I mean, that's a stupid thing to say anyway. But even then, you really haven't thought about it because 1+1 is 2. I want to disprove that, but then I mean, I'm not even gonna entertain the thought. It's a stupid fucking thought anyway. Stupid statement to say. But even then, if you were smart, you would have said, "Can I really prove that 1 is 1?" First of all, then I would prove that 1+1 is 2, because you have to prove the first part to be true, for the second to even talk about the second part. You have to prove addition as well. Yeah, I mean, and I don't think they even know what that means. 1 plus 1 is 2. You have a chair. You have another chair. How many does that make? It's just an arbitrary thing you say and an arbitrary symbol we use. You don't have to even say one. You can say adin, no, ichi, eins, whatever, uno, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want. You can write it however you want because we have Roman numerals, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. We don't deal with that semantics. It's all semantics. We don't deal with that. We deal with real stuff. When you go fuck a woman, you don't say stuff. You go and put the dick in and you shut the fuck up. That's how it is. That's the real fucking stuff. You don't talk about it and whatever the fuck. You talk about it after the fact. If you do it during the thing, the sex, it'd be boring as fuck. Whatever. I'm talking bullshit anyway. But whatever. It's true though. One, prove that one is one, then you, I mean, that's why I say you prove existence. So you have to prove that it exists, it is defined as one, there is an actual chair, your senses are actually perceiving that. You don't know that. You can't prove it. You have to write, you have to know every single chair that ever fucking existed and will exist. You can't do that. You have to, for example, or the circle thing, you have to write out every single circle known to man to prove that. I mean, that's what it is. You cannot prove this. You have this whole. You have to a whole different method of taking and thinking and dissecting all this kind of stuff. It's more deep than that. If people think one is basic. There's nothing basic about one. It's a really deep number. 1, 0, number 2 has a lot of meaning to it. That's why Pythagoreans went crazy. Read about the Tetractys, even though there's not about enough information about that, and written in stupid broken English, translated from an ancient dead language that's obsolete. So I mean, yeah, one is one. I mean, one isn't just like a symbol or anything. It represents something in the real life. That's how it all came about. That's why when you go to school and you turn 18, you're a clueless dumb fuck, because all they taught you was useless information that has nothing. You misunderstood. First of all, the teachers are stupid. They haven't read one book anyway. They haven't understood anything, and it has nothing to do with your life. And that's exact antithesis to mathematics. Mathematics is art, and it is the exact. It's really part of life. You cannot get more real than mathematics. It's just the way they teach you. They confuse you and has nothing to do with your life, but it does. The real mathematics is your life, is your experiences. That's it. So yeah, one is one. I don't know. Is it one? Am I one or am I two? I am me, but I have cells. I have atoms. I have electrons. I've made up all this kind of stuff, and who the fuck am I? If I cut off my hand, I'm still me, so I'm not my hand. So prove that one is one. You can cut off my hand and still I am right here. Cut off my dick, cut off my legs, but I still am me. I haven't changed. Continue living on my life, so that's another thing. Self-awareness, that's another question. So is one one? We don't know if one is one. More to come when we stop teaching people wrong mathematics, and we start thinking with our brains and stop trying to one up each other and start to actually think for the truth, like Socrates. Read the fucking books, and you have to be open minded, because it's gonna be against the mainstream. Mainstream wants you to be dumb and be poor, while all the people are rich and smart, they abuse you and make their own laws and tell you to follow these laws that are abusive and fake. They're only made for them, for the top guys, for the rich guys to benefit them, not you. So be smart. Don't do stupid shit. Play the role. I mean, they're already doing that. People, I think they know that. It's just stupid. It's not fair. Well, let's see. Let's see what else can we do. Multiplication. Like, oh, it's semantics. I don't know. It's the way they talk. I don't know how to understand. Ancient. I don't speak. I don't know if you don't know, but I'm not an ancient Greek. I was born on ancient Greek land, but in modern day Bulgaria. Not used to be Thrace, used to be Greece, but no longer is. Has nothing to do with modern Greece. Modern day Greece. Modern day Greece. Ha. Anyhow, let's see what the next thing is then. Socrates. Yeah, that dude. I mean, he was right. He didn't like to. He didn't like to write things down, and I get him. People stupid. They're dumb fucks, and it doesn't need to be written down. But yeah, and they made him die for saying the truth. So, and he died. He accepts death. He talks about punishment and how somebody who hasn't been punished for his punishment is worse off not being punished, seeking retribution and justice by taking his punishment than not. So it's very interesting just to listen. I mean, it's hard to understand because even the guy who, if you read the audio book, the guy is so fucking confusing. He's like reading this and he doesn't even know what he's reading. So I mean, he's like, some of the audiobooks, the guy's like really confused. Like, what the fuck am I even reading? How do I even read it? What is he even saying? And that's one thing that's complicated. And I mean, it's not complicated. It's just non-mainstream. It's something you wouldn't expect because you don't want it. It's almost like you don't want it to be that way, but it is. That's why you don't expect it. You don't want it. It's that. It's not because it's too complicated. Let's see, Socrates.
Socrates is one of the most renowned and well-known figures in history. He was one of the most remarkable thinkers of all time, and his philosophical legacy continues to be researched, studied.
Man, what does that even mean, research, study? There's nothing to research or study. I mean, what is that like? We wonder, the people, we're wondering so many years, but who are these people that are wondering? Like the information is running right in front of their face, they just don't want to accept it. So I mean, if you're gonna delude yourself and say you're researching without an open mind, then you're not researching anything. You're wasting your time. You're trying to prove a point, your ego point that made by your ego to satisfy your ego, but I mean, it don't work like that, because it ain't.
View and attribute wisdom to spiritual leaders or to those inspired him and eventually led,
Know thyself.
which were not sanctioned by the
Like they like, I don't know why people are like that, because go back in time, see all the people that invented all this shit, the real geniuses, you'll see that it's a whole different story. These people knew they didn't just study one field because they say, I'm a mathematician. Yeah, but you cannot be a physicist if you're not a mathematician. You can't be a botanist unless you're a biologist, unless you're a physicist, unless you're a chemist. It's all one and the same. I don't know why people, you gotta study everything, you gotta know everything, or just do it for the fuck of it, just do it for fun. I mean, you cannot just focus on one. It's all about money. I mean, it's not even, you're not even a physicist, you're a businessman. You should have just said that.
Full of Delphi. Its origin dates to the clash between Apollo and
Okay,
the
they're
serpent
talking about oracles.
which was
They're talking about, it's kind of seeing the future and the past and all that kind of stuff. Why they don't talk about it? That's the guy who fucking invented all the shit we use today. I think he might know a few things or not. Just open your mind. Maybe you don't like it, maybe whatever. Open and see what it is, because you cannot deny it. This is some kind of true stuff right here.
Gift gave the Pythonesses the power.
And then you can read the book and understand in what kind of sense it was written. So, what was the deal with the Oracle of Delphi? See what did be.
Over 2,000 years ago, in the city of Delphi, ancient Greece, there stood and still stands a grand temple to the god Apollo.
Is that your opinion, or does it stand? Have you been there? Have you? It's not like she's like, apparently I'm being told that is. I mean, go visit, say, go on Google, don't visit, go on Google Maps, see if it's there, you know. Do some research, as they say.
Apollo was not only the god of the sun. He reigned over poetry, music, archery, dance, healing, and notably...
Did he? Apparently he did that. Do you know how you know that?
Truth and shrouded in
Do
mystery.
some research.
She's largely been driven by years of pop culture contamination and conflicting accounts.
Just like you might do
from centuries
yourself.
over time, introducing some Greece to find the perfect spot himself, and was like, hey, the official Sibyls in the ancient world, but out of all of them, the Delphic Oracle was the most sought out of them all. There is far, far too much that we don't know about the...
I gotta start talking like that. Yow, bow, bow. You gotta know how much it is just to grab the attention of people, make YouTube money. Fuck that. I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Intricacies of the process of
What about I put myself in like a Greek costume, bro, just to fuck with people? Fuck learning. Just dress up like a weirdo.
Consultation with the Delphic Oracle, because so much was simply not written down, or whatever was written down has not survived the ages. It was one of those...
No, because they didn't even write it down, because they don't give a fuck. They don't care about people. The dumb people that they lynched them. The same people that were supposed to write the books, nobody wanted to hear what they said, and they try to kill him. And now you want to write a book about that? Well, go fuck yourself. I mean, why you treat people like that? And to this day as well is the same way.
Situations.
People can't get along, and they're too dumb and racist. They're racist and all that kind of stuff. Prejudice, everything, all that.
Where the power and process of the Delphic
towards ideas,
so long-standing,
towards people, towards stupid skin color, towards everything. Now there's some truth to racism being important, but man, when it comes to all this honesty and you got the right people, it's just kind of stupid.
So vital to the classical world that most people were just like, well, everyone knows how it goes, so why bother explaining the details? They weren't writing for us.
But why you gotta talk like that? It's like, what are you saying? Why you gotta talk like that? Like, you don't have to personalize. This story not about you, it's about Socrates, right? Or Oracle of Delphi. I mean, are you the Oracle of Delphi? Are you offended or something? Just talk. Say what information you have researched and say it honestly and enlighten the people. That's all. And if you're wrong, if you have somewhere you can add stuff more, you do that. I mean, there's no emotional attachment to this. You just say it. You don't need all that. It's not play. I mean, or is it? I don't know. I mean, education and play is different.
An audience over 2 millennia
It's not one and the same.
No longer have that common knowledge or cultural context to fill in the blanks. A tale as old as fucking time. As many Delphi historians note, there's also the glaring issue of the fact that much of the detail we...
It seems like she's reading off something. I don't read none of this shit. Whatever I say, I read it. Or I researched or whatever. Long time ago, I just say whatever I want to say. It sounds like I'm being told that it is such. But go experience it for yourself. Check if it is like that or it's not.
Do have is highly unreliable sources writing long after the...
How do you know that? If they're unreliable? Have you done research?
Oracle of Delphi ceased to exist, and often they have conflicting accounts or are actively hostile to the history due to being early Christians whose main job was to be poo-pooing the Hellenistic and other hunted for their potential source.
Some ego bullshit again. Socrates. Malaka. Socrates and the Oracle of Delphi. Delphi's.
In ancient Greece, a friend of Socrates asked the oracle of Delphi, who is the
Is
wisest
it the friend of somebody? Might be a friend. I don't know. I don't remember. I have to read Plato.
man in Athens? The
Which
oracle
book was this in?
answered Socrates. Shocked, the friend rushed to tell him. When Socrates heard the oracle's claim, he was confused. How can I be the wisest? I know nothing. Socrates began questioning politicians, poets, and craftsmen. He realized they all thought they knew much but understood little. I am wise because I know that I do not know, he concluded.
Yeah, but you gotta explain that. It's interesting what he meant by that. You gotta talk about what he meant by I know that I know nothing, and then the Socratic dialectic and all that. It's pretty cool. You gotta learn. What does he mean, I know nothing? I think he means that one part, I mean, it's more deep than the one I'm gonna say, but one part to it is you can't really know something for sure. And as soon as you know something, another thing arises. As soon as you ask, I mean, that's what he says in the books. I forgot which book it was. Mino Faero, I don't know. Critias. I don't remember the other. Critias. Timaeus. Whatever, but yeah, he says that. He says that you can't know anything for sure, and as soon as you ask a question and you figure one thing out, there's a fucking ton of other questions you can ask about that thing. It's called the chain of Socrates. It's a chain dialect that leads to you not being able to prove it. Okay, then you can just say, I'm touching this. Can I trust my senses that are there? If I didn't have nerve endings on my fingers and I touch it and I don't feel anything, does that mean that thing is not there? Now I have eyes. I mean, and then if a tree fell in the woods and nobody heard it, didn't make a sound. I mean, if you didn't observe it, is it really there? You know, if the light didn't hit your eye and you didn't see it, is it really there? If you can't touch it, if you can't smell it, what does it mean to exist? You know, is it really there? If you cannot interact with it, and then is it really there for you or objectively? They talk a lot of objective things, so the Pythagoreans, Socratians, whatever they talk about, all the Stoicists, they talk a lot about that kind of thing, objectivity, and then subjectivity is like more about what I say.
Socrates realized that wisdom lies in recognizing one's ignorance. I am wise because I know what I do not know. So, what do you think this story teaches us?
I don't know what it means.
And I got
It's more
big.
deep than that. She predicted the future. Acknowledge his own ignorance and continue seeking knowledge. Yeah, being humble. I mean, if that's the same with the koan of a koan is like a poem that teaches you some life lesson or some shit from Asia, Buddhist teaching or whatever. The koan says, "Leave your glass empty, then you can fill the glass in. If the glass is full, you can fill it more. So if you come in saying you know everything, you can't really learn anything, and you cannot know everything anyway. And if you come in ready to learn with an empty glass, it can be filled. So you have to learn the yin and yang, the balance. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You have to know how to lose to know how to win. All that kind of stuff. Read Bruce Lee as well. Same shit. Accept death. Same thing with the samurai in all the Musashi Miyamoto. You have to accept you're gonna die to be a samurai, or the Art of War, Sun Tzu. All this kind of stuff. You have to learn how to die to live. To be a samurai, you have to learn how to lose to win. Cannot always be winning. That's how you learn. You're not here to experience every single thing. You're here to be learning all the time.
of your psyche. And then, if
Well,
one
where
of you
the
dis-
fuck you come? Where's this from? I gotta read the Republic of Plato. Republic of Athens, I'm grateful and I am your friend, but I will obey the God rather than you, and as long as I draw breath and I am able, I shall not cease to practice philosophia. To exhort you and in my usual way to point out, God, good sir, you know, shame possessions, chremata, honors time, aletheia, all in Greek.
degrees in set
50%
as they
Greek.
do under
Greece
utilitarianism.
is in southern border of my country.
On Bentham's view, it's a take or human goodness.
Philosophia, philosophia, the love of wisdom. Yeah.
This brings us in a way to there's many reasons to think this was an unethical study to conduct, given what the participant knew in the
study is nothing.
This is not so much perceived to be or sign your
Logos.